Hello, this is the first in a hopeful series of videos covering what I call my Pokemon Corner Shop collection. Um, to explain that name a little bit, in the UK we have shops called corner shops. They're basically just they're small, quick little convenience stores that we can go to grab whatever. And I'm putting that name onto this series of items I've got because while not all of them came from, like, let's say, a corner shop, like these little smaller things from around the third generation, as you can see, that you could just pick up there when you used to be able to do Pokemon dog tags. You used to be able to get like Pokemon cards from these corner shops, but they've stopped appearing as much in official Pokemon merchandise in these shops. So it's very much a time, an era thing, and it's why I like to collect for, especially for like Gen 3 related stuff from when I was little and really wanted this stuff and couldn't necessarily get it. So to begin, we have Pokemon Lamincards. Lamincards. I keep getting the name wrong. From what I read about them, these are, of course, a set of cards that came out in 2004 and then went to about 2006. They came out in a number of countries, and as we will see, mine with my collection is Spanish because that's just what I found and that's what I bought. This is a complete collection. This is the Rainbow Collection, I believe, from what I've read, and it's from 2005. We'll start going through it. So, as you can see, based on the name, they're laminated cards because they kind of have this they look laminated-ish, and they got this kind of distinct see-through look. Move on to the main characters of the Gen 3 anime. No Maxie and Archie, I believe. Maybe it wasn't at that point in the anime yet. And then on the back of them, you can see he's got a nice little kind of color gradient. I don't know what he uses. There's a bunch of different colors. A bit of information. This is in Spanish, I believe. I can't read Spanish. I barely speak English. So going through, a really interesting thing about these cards, that as a complete and a hopeless Pokemon fanatic, I find it interesting, is that some of them, as you can see Perceptor here, are kind of like the different art. They're not really, the main Kensugumi art we see. And a lot of them look really funny because a lot of them are just face forward. I was talking to a friend about these. I was showing them to him. He mentioned a lot of these angles being kind of as awkward as they are might have been for model sheets that they kind of repurposed for this card collection just because why not? There's also the chance that, given this was Gen 3, and I believe they started taking Pokemon fully serious at Gen 4, maybe they didn't mind what art was being put out there of these Pokemon. They didn't mind as much, where I imagine now it may be stuck to more official poses like you would see in the typical Kensugumi art. Very, very interesting cards, I believe. Noon looks super awkward here. In terms of like, what have I got to say about this? I haven't got much. I didn't like full on collect them, as in like I didn't have to hunt for cards. Maybe a couple that the seller didn't originally include in the collection, but for the most part, I did get this set pretty much complete, and I thought it was so interesting. I hadn't heard of them before because I was looking for other like corner shop collection stuff. And I found these. That's all a complete set, and I thought, well, that's fascinating. I need to get these. Another couple cases, and I failed to mention going through a couple more different poses. This one's really nice for Lombre because most of it's like official art. It's looking pretty kind of grumpy, a bit sad, even though I believe it's the jolly Pokemon. And then the anime, it's here and there whether it's super jolly or super meh. But it is a nice different change for the art. And if you can notice there's like a printing error on this card for some reason. A bit of Lombre's lower body has been kind of merged with one of the back colors of the card. There's some more examples. There'll be a Duskull coming up where you can see something like that again. Very typical art. And a nice little pose change there for Tato. If you hear noise in the background, I do apologize. Right next to my left, I have a couple of tortoises. They don't care if I'm making videos or not. I hope you understand they make a bit of noise. These videos, in addition, probably won't be edited because I don't have editing software and can't be bothered right now. I kind of just want to talk in front of a camera. Well, another super awkward angle like Gardevoir. I feel like the ones I've had it the worst so far are Gardevoir and Sceptile. Like, oh no, these Pokemon just weren't made for looking directly in front. It reminds me of I'm currently playing Pokemon Shield again, and I'm trying to get my final team member, Silly Cobra. Because I wanted to engage with the game's mechanics a bit more, I've been doing curry encounters to find a Silly Cobra. I found out the way it's a nice slack off, just standing there. He's not bothered. Look at him, he's lovely. The way curry encounters work is that they're inverse of the regular hidden Pokemon encounter table. So the more common a Pokemon is typically my slacking pose, really awkward Ninkata pose. The more common a Pokemon is typically it's another different pose there for Ninjask. Uh, the more common it is typically in the grass, the more unlikely you are to find it through a curry encounter. Within Route 6 of Galar, the most common hidden encounter is Silicobra, of course, 30% encounter rate, and through a curry encounter, it's a 7% chance. So I've been going through that, trying to get that. And the reason the front-facing Pokemon remind me of all that, and why I started talking about this, is that I didn't know, but sometimes your Pokemon can kind of just like jump scare you, and the Pokemon can kind of just jump scare you and like just be face forward, like filling the entire screen. My Urshifu did it yesterday, and I kind of went, whoa, what the fuck? So nice. I didn't mention it, but I like this Hariyama pose. I'm a Hariyama fan. What really like I don't know how silly it's gonna sound to people, but I am. I don't know. I genuinely do love a very very nice mobile pose. Um, I'm a fan of every single Pokemon for some reason. I can't really bring myself to really dislike a single Pokemon. I think it's because Pokemon's been a part of my life pretty much my entire life, and every creature is like to me like a new opportunity, a new interesting thing to use. Even if a Pokemon's outclassed, it always tends to be something I enjoy about them. Like commonly, like kind of a forgotten Pokemon like Luminion, Maractus. Well, they've still got really nice designs, don't they? I used Luminion once. It was really bad, but I still appreciate using it because it's a nice looking Pokemon. There's a novelty to it, right? Even Love Disc, it had his maybe not as much now. It doesn't have his heart scale utility, but it did, and it's still like it's interesting in the fact that it's not great at all. I'll probably talk about this more in other videos because it's just an interesting talking point. I think talk about what Pokemon people like and that these are really funny poses for Gulpin and Swallow. This full of mouth open. You don't see that too much. I think it's one of the bits of animation in his Emerald sprite, but like I think Swallow less so. It's like Kirby. It's wonderful. This card, you see, he's got a lot of age on it. It's quite yellow, but otherwise, it's in there. It's fine. I do apologize if this is the first time I'm trying a video like this with a tripod. I finally got a tripod. And, I'm just trying it out. Just throw something out there. This page is interesting, if you notice. So, of course, we got lovely Numel. I love Numel a lot. I share a day with it. I want to hug it so bad. Look at his little dopey eyes. Oh my, I love Numel and camera up where I'm posing, looking forward. But if you noticed here, we have Macago. No Slugma. So really quick, just going to the next page. When I was looking at this, I was like, damn, I haven't got the full collection. But then if you look at Camerup's number and then Macago's, but unless I've been lied to my entire life, 84 does come after 83. So whoever made this, the company, just forgot Slugma was a thing. And I know Slugma's another one of those Pokemon, like people, I forget it, it's not the greatest Pokemon, but that's so dirty. The Slugma. And Torkoal. Do you love Torkoal? This is a Pokemon I keep getting in my curry encounters because I don't know. I think it's a 14% chance, and it's a great Pokemon. I love it, but at the same time, I want Silicobra. Funnily enough, Silicobra, and then looking up Sandaconda is kind of what got me to play Galar again. Another really awkward angle for Boy Bravo. Well, another one in the grand scheme of the mind. I don't know. I just started looking it up, and I started thinking of Galar. That's a very nice Flygon. So I thinking of Galar, and then I was watching Hoodlum Callum again. Well, no, I'm never really not watching him in terms of consistent uploads, but I was watching his Sword and Shield playthrough. This is a weird Zangoose pose, and they use, as you'll see in future videos of his corner shop collection, they keep reusing it for some reason, even though it's why? So Viper's fine, but no, not Zangoose. So I was watching a bit of his playthrough, kind of sleep aid kind of stuff, of his Sword and Shield playthrough, and I know Sword and Shield really does have its problems, and I'm not trying to like fully defend them all, not really. But for as a person who's been like autistically obsessed, really, really fun Wish Cache. Do you know what? Now I think about it, it might be in what's Carmine's room in the Blueberry Academy. I think she has a Wish Cache like painting that's a similar pose to this. That's kind of neat. Look how round his head is. Anyway, as someone who's been autistically obsessed with Pokemon since he was like 4, like 25 now, um, Pokemon has always been like my favorite thing in the world. Other than like people, of course, because you know, um, for a series I care so much about, for my favorite fictional world to be set in the country where I'm from, or the general country. I'm not from England, but it meant a lot seeing in a world I care about so much, seeing familiar looking areas, right? Something that's a really cute Kecleon. Seeing areas that look like home, like the housing and that, the way the names are, it meant a lot. So I personally believe Galah's got a lot of nice atmosphere at times. Like Wedgehurst is one of my favorite towns in Pokemon. Just the theme, it's just a lovely little place. To sidetrack that talk really quick, here we have that Duskull I was talking about. As you can see, for some reason the art, massive the art's kind of gone over its skull a little bit. It's really awkward. It's a nice Dusclops. So like, I'm not saying it's like just purely because I'm British, but I do think like Galar hits a bit different for me. It's got a really homely feeling. I also believe that it's a nice Trimecho. I'm going to sidetrack the Galar talk really quick because I think about when I see Trimecho. For some reason, in the anime, I had a fascination with the idea of seeing the move Astonish, because I believe, well, most cases of Astonish in the anime, I believe, was either like James's Trimecho or a couple of Chingling that appear in like one episode. And I don't, for the longest time, I was like, I want to see Astonish in the anime. And then I have no idea why, but I did. There's Absol. I've been watching a lot of Absol vlogs, Pokemon lately. He's absolutely one of my favorite YouTubers. It's a charming, lovely channel, and it's kind of what semi pushed me to want to start making these videos. Really nice Pikachu, and I believe then that's like a Gen 1 art of Raichu, but I don't think we've seen it in this higher quality. I might be wrong, but it's neat. As why not? Anyway, back to Galar. I really do think, again, a lot of problems I understand, but I think it does have some of the best scenes in the series, in the whole franchise. The Eternamax battle is amazing, and I would not be convinced otherwise. Leon is like my favorite Pokemon character in Pokemon. Keep in mind, I've played every generation. I like all the games. I've had my fair share of Pokemon experience. Really cute Celio. Um, Leon is my favorite because, like, in the canon, really quick, Huntail is based off, I believe, the Gulper Eel. If you want to see something freaky, I would recommend looking it up. Anyway, like, Galar's like supposed to be like canonically the strongest region in the Pokemon world, and for him to be the number one champion of all of that, like, it was really cool to me, as well as the fact that his theme. So I love like kind of theatrics a bit, right? And I love the idea of the chanting, cheering and chanting in Sword and Shield. On this channel, you'll see I have a playlist of all of the sorry, chanting and cheering in Sword and Shield and onwards in order, because I really, really care about it. It's this idea of symbiosis, the idea that, to me anyway, that the crowd is so excited that they can't hold it anymore. They must chant and cheer, and they're so excited to see the battle. And then to me, them being so excited to want to chant and cheer makes me more excited and want to do better. And then me doing better, hopefully, should make them more excited. Um, Around the time before Sword and Shield came out, I was actually like fanboying. I was just like writing my ideal scenario for what I want Leon's battle to be. I wanted there to be, I want to be in the middle of the night, and then the strobe lights would come on. The battle would start. The whole crowd would be chanting and cheering. He had his whole speech, and I want. Well, is there a mess up on the Latios as well? I'm gonna try and look. Sorry, I'm gonna. Oh, for some reason it's got like. Oh, where is it? There you are. It's got bits of green shading on it. I don't know if that's just doesn't have it anywhere else. That's a bit weird, isn't it? I didn't notice that before. Basically, everything I wanted. Funny ground on. Everything I wanted from the battle was was delivered to me. His battle Leon's battle theme is my favorite theme in the entire series. It's my favorite battle in the series. He's my favorite trainer in the series. This is the point where I love the chanting and cheering so much in the series that in Sword and Shield that I've memorized every single different character song's chant. It's a different degree of autism. Anyways, to end off the book here, we have this nice little bit of like Ash. Is it the original art they used for Gen 3, or is it maybe one of the later seasons? Random Kadabra amongst then I say amongst all these Gen 3 Pokemon, but like Crobats. Oh, that kind of it's. I think it's gonna be a bit blurry regardless. Crobat, and then I guess Gyarados makes sense. It's like a staple Pokemon, but then Crobat's a bit odd, and then we have Kadabra as well. And on the back. On top of that, I do have a pack from one of the Laminacard sets. I originally thought, excuse me, it was from this set. But upon looking it up and seeing the Pokemon inside, which I believe is a Bellsprout, yes, there's no mistakenly a Bellsprout, it is not from this set. One thing I would really like to point out is that on the back it says the data of advantages and disadvantages have been independently created by Edibas and are not official statistics. So I'm wondering now after seeing that, like, which I thought was really funny. From what I understand, again, I can't understand Spanish, but I think the types are mostly correct. Does that mean then they made up the height and weight? If we look on the back. Oh, now I notice that there's moves. Does that mean they made up the moves? One odd thing to kind of make up for every single Pokemon. We look at a Delkai, wonderful little Delkai. I'm guessing that's Scratch, Attract, don't know, and then Double Slap. Is it Spanish? Was it a different language? I can't tell. If that's not Spanish, then I've looked today. Anyway, this has mostly been a ramble where I kind of just show off some Lamincards, and I don't know if that format will work. It's just that for this video, I don't have a lot of history with these, but I do think they're incredibly interesting and wanted to show them off. I think on Bulbapedia when I checked them, not all the backs of these were on there. But I don't know if something fell. Sorry about that. Let's put them back up pretty quick. This little bottle opener. I don't think they had all the backs on there, but these of course are not in English. I don't know if they would want them. If someone knows and can let me know, I'd happily try and scan them to make sure that database is complete, because this is a fun little obscure bit of Pokemon history that I wanted to show today. Anyway, thank you for watching. I do apologize for the noise in the back. I'll try to make these a bit better as we're going forward, but we'll have to see how it goes. I hope you were interested in at least the Laminacards, if not my silly rambling about how much I love Pokemon. Anyway, until next time, goodbye.